Deaf people of Reddit, what is the equivalent of having a song stuck in your head? Deaf person here, it's honestly pretty similar. Rhythms, tapping your foot, etc. Not sure about other people's experiences, but I usually have a static sort of sound replaying in my head. Are you born dead? Yes, thankfully I live to tell the story though. That's a relief. A relive. A refleave. A reouf. A refefe. Au revoir. A relief. What a sublimely Mark Twain-esque phrase you've clevered yourself into. Clevered yourself into is also a great phrase. Thank you for your service. You're so brave. I understand what's happened here, but this comment made me laugh so hard I woke up my husband. Well, we can say that he's not deaf. Or dead. As of 5 hours ago. We need an update. Are you born dead? Well, yes, but actually no. I'm laying here in bed, laughing so hard but as quietly as I can while my husband sleeps next to me, tears streaming down my face. This is fantastic. In a sense, we all are. That one's a tough one to do. It's so weird that most of the time people that make comments like these just never show any sign of them realizing their mistake and just vanishes from the thread. How do you not notice a ton of replies, awards, etc., and who asks a question then just leaves? I'm reading the replies. Lol. I'm born dead. How do you know what a static sort of sound is? I currently wear hearing aids, but until I was 7, I was completely deaf in both ears. Edit. Grammar. Deaf person here. I will have certain TV show intros or commercials repeatedly play over and over in my head. Mostly stuff that I used to see regularly, such as the Pardon Our Dust commercials aired when I was in middle school/high school, or the intro to Gargoyles, X-Files, Dragon Ball Z, just to give a few examples. Edit. Holy cow, I didn't expect this comment to trend. First awards ever. Thank you all. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Will Krillin finally own someone? Will Yamcha, Chaozu and Tien die? Of course they will. Ding. Find out on the next episode, Krillin gets totally owned. Now he owns an android, every night. We're not too far off. I constantly have commercial jingles stuck in my head. Some in the animation cartoon opening. Duna Nuna Nua Nu. Not deaf, but early childhood cartoons pop into my dreams often. I can't tell you how many times I would hear Uncle Go Jackie. And wake up to see who was watching one of my favorite shows, or as I fall asleep hear the theme song from Batman Beyond. It's odd when I wake up and I can't comprehend what just happened because being so tired made it so real, but even Yuki's voice has appeared in my dreams telling me it's time to duel or hurry up and finish my turn because I'm going to be sent to the Shadow Realm. I guess kids are more impressionable than I thought. Man, where is Toonami now? I've been deaf since I was 2. I always get clips of people dancing stuck in my head, like the Carlton dance from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or dancing in the fountain from the Friends theme song. If I had to have a dance stuck in my head, I think I would pick the Carlton. It always makes me chuckle. If you haven't seen it, look up Will Smith's appearance on The Graham Norton Show on YouTube. The Carlton makes a surprise return near the end, and better than ever. It's not much of a surprise now, is it? If you haven't seen it, look up the movie Sixth Sense. It has a great twist at the end where it's revealed Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. It's going to shock you when you watch it. What does The Sixth Sense and the Titanic have in common? I see dead people. Edit. Spelling. And Willis watched as people drowned, as freezing water rushed around, and swept beyond the bleak abyss. But wait, he said, which movie's this? That was great. YouTube link. No one can ever quite do the Carlton like Alfonso Ribeiro does the Carlton. Completely owns it to this day, 30 years later. Even when other professional dancers attempt it, and there has been a lot, they just look awkward. Not my man Alfonso though. Edit, added other to the second paragraph to help emphasize the fact that Alfonso Ribeiro is also a professional dancer. That's not unusual. I really wanted this comment to be it's not unusual, ah well. Yes. Or the Elaine. Goddamn, even deaf people get the Friends intro stuck in their heads. That crap is diabolical. Clapping hands, clapping hands, clapping hands, clapping hands. Wait. How do you know? How do you not? How can she clap? If you were deaf since you were 2, obviously you don't remember not being deaf, but do you remember how some things sound? Do you remember the sensation of sound? Sorry if it's a rude question, I am just curious. Yes, I remember how a few things sound. For example, thunder, but that may have more to do with the vibrations that shake the house when it's really loud that reinforces the memory. I always wondering if being deaf is hearing something, a background noise, or it's totally muted. I'm not English speaker, and for learning and improving I watch my series in English with the deaf subtitles. Does it mean something to you when the text is something like, suspicious music? There's different levels of hearing loss for different people. For me, it's pretty much complete silence unless there's really loud thunder, but even then, it's more of a muffled noise if that makes sense. I watch everything with subtitles, and I always appreciate when the subtitles tell me something like, ominous music, or something similar to give me the emotion of what is happening in the moment. I grew up with a hard of hearing father and 2 sisters with hearing issues, so I'm very accustomed to using subtitles, even now when I don't live with them. Aren't some subtitles absolutely lacking and infuriating? There doesn't seem to be a standard, sometimes it's literal gibberish, and honestly sometimes they straight up shortchange the subtitles, I'm assuming to keep pace with the visuals. Yes. I read lips and I can tell when they say something completely different from what they put in the subtitles. And it absolutely infuriates me when they don't subtitle the lyrics to a song that is playing during the show. How does one become deaf around the age of 2? Sensory neural hearing loss runs in my family, it's hereditary. Interesting, thanks for the response. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Da-da-da-na-na-na. What's new, pussycat? Wait, am I at the Salt and Pepper Diner? God damn it. Yes. Thanks for the answer. I have a follow-up question too. If a song is stuck in my head, let's say the Friends theme song, I need to listen to a different song in order to keep my sanity. What would you do to forget Carlton's dance? I usually watch something to get my mind off of whatever is replaying over and over in my head. I asked my completely deaf best friend this, and she said, the rhythm of the bass in my car, or pictures of things I enjoy. Especially shows I watched as a kid, I can remember probably every scene. After a few more texts, I added the songs she talked about to my playlist so I could turn them on while in my car together. I never really thought of the bass and things until now. The Grateful Dead used to have a deaf section at their shows where they would hold balloons which would pick up the bass. So the bass would go through their feet and hands, and they would have people sign the lyrics for the section. I've always thought this was a pretty cool thing to do. This small factoid has got more upvotes than me whole Reddit existence. Crazy. Are you saying their gigs are full of the Grateful Deaf? That tis. Here is a video of an interpreter at a rap concert. She is blazingly fast. Web link. Eminem has sign language interpreters too. Web link. Tell her to get a JBL Charge 4. It's a speaker with bouncing side thingies with the bass, and I'm sure she'd think it's pretty cool. I feel like buying a deaf person a speaker could be taken the wrong way. You have clearly never been to a deaf party. Or lived 3 doors down from deaf partiers. Their parties are loud. So they can feel the music. Always blasting songs for the deaf by Queens of the Stone Age. I need a saga. What's the saga? It's songs. For the deaf. You can't even hear it. That drop straight after that gets me erect. Not even ashamed to say it. You say I am not worth $1, but I feel like a millionaire is legit the best song, and driving song, on that album. It's the first song I listened to when I passed my driving test and drove on my own. Had a deaf friend who would make up beats that he liked a lot. Eventually he started recording himself banging these beats out on his washing machine in his garage, and he would play them through the massive speakers he had in his car. He really liked the feel of the beat, but to everyone else it just sounded like shoes in a dryer, but loud. Man, now I sort of want to listen to is. Or well, feel it. Maybe put on some noise-canceling earbuds and crank the volume up on a speaker system to see if I can enjoy the vibrations in a similar way as your deaf friend. Haha, this story is equal parts interesting, wholesome, and super funny. With an added touch of sympathy cringe for the ears of everyone in the neighborhood. Love it. This. Also loud even without music because they don't know they are being loud, haha. Hey. Can you keep it down? It's kind of loud. What? Everybody at this party is deaf. I said keep it down. Too loud. I can't hear you. We're all deaf. Side note, I almost wrote dead instead of deaf, which would change the context entirely. Can you imagine the stones of the man who yells at a zombie party to keep it down? The Stones. Man, that party would be a thriller for sure. I've been to plenty of deaf parties and let me tell you, it is off the hook. And yes, the music is loud. Plus at an actual deaf party I'm betting you don't have to make small talk or act like you heard the person yelling nonsense at you. You have to make a real, physical effort to sign, so I doubt there's as much meaningless conversation. Deaf people are usually limited in their ability to communicate with the world, so when they get the chance to talk they are highly talkative. It's one of at least a few reasons deaf communities are so gossipy. Trust me, they have just as much forced conversation as hearing people do. It's the top commenter's best friend and she, commenter, said she, her friend, listens to music. Deaf people feel the bass of music. That's very thoughtful of you. I asked my deaf uncle what his conscience consisted of, since he's never heard a spoken word. I wondered if it was just an image of his hands signing. I was right. That's certifiably mind-blowing. Makes me wonder if those who've lost their hearing after birth still hear their own voice in their head or if that fades. I've heard folks who lost their sight after birth slowly lose their ability to recall images in their head. Uncle has been deaf from age 5 to now. He's nearly 70, he has memories of sound and words, but they aren't all that accurate. He's very hard to understand when he talks, he's using his memory of the sounds to make and how to make them from 60-ish years ago. What was or is his occupation? Carpenter, in a workforce where basically everyone was deaf. Retired years ago due to ill health. I fear he won't make 75. I'm sorry to hear that. I image he's had a challenging life. For years I've attended American Hearing Impaired Hockey Association games, AHIHA. 15 or so years ago I was startled by the younger players' ability to enunciate compared to the older kids. They were fortunate to have had cochlear implants while very young. Some kids signed. There was a tremendous camaraderie between the players and families from all over the States and Canada. How are the hockey games different for the hearing impaired? Do they flash lights when there is a foul/end of period? Are line changes handled differently? I'm genuinely curious. They use lights around the rink. Line changes are the same. During practice I've seen coaches use a hockey stick to tap the back of players' legs to get their attention. What's amazing is the hearing-impaired kids play local hockey teams who play together as any team would. The hearing-impaired boys and girls are together just 1 week a year. Humans are kind of amazing when it comes to adaptation. This is effing amazing. I love that deaf kids are able to enjoy hockey like that. Okay, so sort of related, but I had a deaf classmate in college when I was studying acting. She described ASL performances where they definitely made use of lighting and incorporated the gestures involved in ASL into their performances. I'm 32 years old, in the trades for a decade. I tell people all the time to wear earplugs and they fight me on it. It's not until I ask if they like hearing their kids' voices or BF/GF moan during sex do they appreciate what I'm trying to do. My hearing isn't total crap, but it's worse than someone my age that has never worked in the field. He was just a 49-year-old carpenter. And I was just a woman who wanted to murmur sweet nothings while we sat together. His response was mostly what? Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.